In this video, I'm going to go through proof by contradiction, and this is quite a common question that tends to come up. I'm going to show you a trick on how you should go about disproving the assumption. So just a reminder of what we do. If we assume that the opposite of the statement is true, and then we want to focus on disproving this assumption, because then that would mean that the original statement that's mentioned here has to be true, because it's either one or the other. So if we start by assuming that there actually does exist integers x and y for which this is true, let's now focus on disproving this assumption. Now to disprove, there's always two methods I recommend, which works 90% of the time. And that's factorizing where you can, or squaring where you can. It tends to help quite a lot with these questions. Like I mentioned, it works 90% of the time, so 10% of the time you do have to think a little outside the box. In this case, we can factorize the left-hand side because we can factor out 10 from both sides, in which case we're left with 3x plus 2y all equals 7. If we then divide both sides by 10, we get 3x plus 2y is equal to 7 over 10. Now, why is it that this is false? Well, let's think about it. If x and y are integers, like we're assuming, well, integer is just a whole number, whether it's negative, 0, or positive, but multiplying 3 to any whole number will also get you a whole number, so it will get you an integer. If you then add on to that 2 times y, well, like we mentioned, we're assuming y is an integer too. 2 times any whole number is also a whole number, so it's also an integer. Now, if you add any two integers together, 5 plus minus 3, 8 plus 8, whatever you add together, it'll always be an integer. However, what we have on the right-hand side is not an integer. So we've disproven that assumption because we've shown that when x and y are integers, the sum of 3x plus 2y should be an integer, whereas it's not here. Then you'd make a statement saying, hence, actually I'll make it here. Hence, due to a contradiction, I'm using big words, you don't need to use those big words. This assumption is false, so the original statement, or if you want to be fancy, you can say the original conjecture is correct, or if you want to be even fancier, holds true. Yeah, that's pretty much what you want to mention in terms of wording. You would also say because 7 over 10 is not an integer, but I've just simplified things and made it a little bit quick for you guys. Be sure to leave a like if the video did help and subscribe. I'd appreciate a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. If you have any tutoring inquiries, be sure to visit my website www.excellineducation.co.uk. It's on the first link in the description too.